Live from the Triangle, this is WNCN Today.
A hot topic today is the cold weather. We'll show you what our cities are doing to prepare for tonight's freezing rain.
And in Paris and Jerusalem today, people said goodbye to victims of last week's terror attack.
And the first meeting of President Obama's task force on policing and community meets in Washington.
Good morning and thank you for watching WNCN Today at 11 o'clock. I'm Phil Sanchez.
And good morning. I'm Stephen Chase, along with meteorologist Alyssa Corfan. Alyssa, big dip in temperatures tonight.
Oh, yeah, a big dip. And they're already falling. Temperatures this morning when we got into the office, mid to upper 40s. Right now, we're in the upper 30s as we look out live from our WNCN camera here in North Raleigh. You can barely make out the buildings of downtown. So I just tweeted out, talk about doom and gloom. These gray skies just not paving a pretty picture for our Tuesday. As far as the rain actually falling, most of you are on the dry side. Now, that's not to say you're not seeing a little drizzle from time to time. You can certainly be dealing with that here in Raleigh. 38 degrees again, 38 in Raleigh, the mid-30s through Henderson, Roxborough, and South Hill. Looking down across the Sandhills, the temperatures have pretty much held steady into the low 40s. Again, drizzle on and off throughout the course of the day. And then this evening, as the temperatures continue to drop, the rain chances are going to go up for us. So we'll hold steady in the mid-30s for the next several hours. By 6 o'clock, I think we're knocking on the doorstep of that freezing mark. Should be close to 33 degrees, then 31 as we head towards 8 o'clock. And you'll notice that chance for rain climbing significantly, unfortunately, just as those temperatures continue to drop later today. Again, we're watching the chance for those showers to move in. And if you want to stay on top of this weather situation, download our WNCN weather app. You can follow the hour-by-hour temperature as it drops tonight and into the morning. It's free. Just search WNCN.com in your Apple or Android device. One of my favorite parts about it, it also sends out our weather alerts. So stay on top of the changing weather. And as we wait for this freezing rain, some local communities are preparing for the event. I turn now to my coworker, Mike Lamia, who's out in the elements. Hey, Mike.
Good morning, Alyssa. Well, we're out here of one of the DOT's facilities where you can see a couple of the plow trucks and salt trucks are just right behind me. They're getting ready to head out and start brining and salting the roads. But here's the thing. You can probably see I've got my little trusty hood on. It's not really a downpour out here, but the problem is the roads over here are wet. And anytime these roads are wet, salt and brine, they won't stick. They'll just eventually wash away. So that's kind of the problem that DOT is facing right now. Obviously, they have to do the best with what they've got, so they're going to start on those major roads, and then they're going to start on the bridges and overpasses as well, because those tend to freeze over much quicker, especially when freezing rain is involved. So these trucks, they're going to be heading out in just a little bit. They said they're going to be heading out into the late morning, and then they're going to be working throughout the entire morning into the night until this weather event is completely clear. But again, the problem here is that the roads are still wet. If they were dry, they'd be out there right now setting up the brine and salt. But until these roads are not completely dry, but start getting to that point, that's when that brine and salt will start sticking. So again, these trucks will be heading out in just a little bit, and we can expect to see them out on the roads really all night until this weather event ends. But for now, we're live in Raleigh. Mike Lamia, WNCN Today.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah, the wet weather certainly making things tricky today. Just another warning with temperatures expected to drop to below freezing. I'm talking the upper 20s for your drive-in tomorrow morning. Stay off the roads and check our WNCN weather app update for constant updates. I'll have updates on Twitter, Facebook, and here online as well. Phil.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. We'll take a turn right now. A somber event playing out on the international front this morning. 3 police officers in France were laid to rest. This after being killed last week in that massacre. Richard Engel has more from Paris.
They died in a hail of bullets in France last week, but today they were laid to rest in the Holy Land. The bodies of 4 Jewish hostages murdered in a kosher grocery in Paris on Friday arrived in Israel overnight. Their funerals attended by thousands, including the Israeli Prime Minister. Simultaneously in Paris, there was a state service for 3 police officers posthumously awarded France's highest honor. This is an emotional time in France. The White House now admits it should have sent a more senior representative to show solidarity.
I think it's fair to say that we should have sent someone with a higher profile.
Meanwhile, the wife of the man who murdered the 4 hostages, Hayat Boumediene, is now confirmed to be far beyond the reach of justice. This security camera footage shows her and a male companion arriving in Turkey more than 10 days ago. Turkish officials say she later slipped across the border to Syria. And this morning, there are reports in Paris that as many as 6 more suspects are still on the loose. The government hasn't officially confirmed it, but it has ordered its largest deployment of armed forces since World War II. 10,000 additional troops are fanning out across the country, guarding national monuments, Jewish schools, and other sensitive targets.
There is also defiance here. The satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo, which was attacked last week for publishing an insulting cartoon of the Muslim prophet Muhammad, plans to come out with a special edition tomorrow, 3 million copies in 16 languages. And once again, on its cover, another cartoon of the prophet Muhammad, this time holding a sign that says, Je suis Charlie, I am Charlie. Richard Engel, NBC News, Paris.
Just to reiterate here, Charlie Hebdo is expected to print more copies of its magazine than ever before, between 1 and 3 million.
And I think it's fair to say that we should have sent someone with a higher profile to be there.
That's President Obama's spokesperson admitting the U.S. made a mistake by not sending a more senior representative to Sunday's Unity March in Paris. The only American leader there was the U.S. ambassador to France. But French President Francois Hollande said the French people are not insulted. In the wake of the attack, the U.S. stepped up security at many big landmarks and advised police officers across the country to be extra vigilant. Today in Afghanistan, investigators say a magnetic bomb exploded, killing at least 2 people. Kabul has suffered a growing number of bombings by the Taliban and other jihadist militant groups as troops withdraw from a 13-year war and leave behind a smaller support mission. Nearly 3,500 foreign soldiers from 29 countries have been killed in Afghanistan since 2001. This includes about 2,200 U.S. soldiers.
White House officials say hackers took aim at the U.S. Central Command Twitter and YouTube sites. The hackers posted images containing pro-ISIS messages to CENTCOM's Twitter feed. They also posted threats and what looked like personal information for retired Army generals. However, U.S. officials insist none of the information leaked was classified or very sensitive. On YouTube, hackers posted ISIS militant videos on the account, which was terminated shortly thereafter. All this hack is another warning for military members and their families to be careful with social media posts. Experts say here's what you need to do. First, reset your passwords, keep most things private, and turn off anything that indicates your location.
Take a turn right now, happening in Washington, D.C., a presidential task force taking on police community relations. The task force was formed last month, the goal to look for ways to create effective partnerships between law enforcement and local communities. Mr. Obama developed the task force in the wake of several fatal acts involving police officers. The task force wants to help reduce crime and increase trust between civilians and police departments. Back here at home, Governor Pat McCrory facing scrutiny this morning after a group filed a complaint against him with the State Ethics Commission.
If this was one example of one discrepancy or one omission, you could give someone the benefit of the doubt. This is not one discrepancy. This is not one omission. This is a very strange, suspicious pattern. And the Ethics Commission should investigate this.
I think it'd be inappropriate for me to respond to a left-wing, very politicized group.
Yeah, the state Republican Party calling the complaint a front for left-wing extremists. Progress NC Action is hoping for an investigation from the State Ethics Commission.
This administration loves working with the city of Charlotte. This is our state capital. City of Raleigh. I knew I'd mess it up. And the city of Charlotte.
Oh boy.
I knew I would do that. 14 years.
People still talking about the governor's gaffe. While speaking at a news conference yesterday, he said that's what happens when you're the mayor of Charlotte for so long. Sometimes you get your cities mixed up. Raleigh Mayor Nancy McFarland, though, you see her there. She didn't seem bothered by it.
Not at all. Well, investigators rule a fire at a Raleigh motel was an accident. They say something like a cigar or cigarette was not put out properly and caught a mattress on fire. This happened at the Raleigh Inn off New Bern Avenue. The flames spread to 2 other rooms on the 2nd floor.
The alarm started going off, and then there was flames shooting out the door. There was flames shooting out the glass where it busted the glass out.
Crews took 5 people to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. 87 people in total were affected by all this. Some were allowed back into their rooms last night. Others were assisted by the Red Cross. Well, tragedy striking a Durham family again. Deputies say 38-year-old Rebecca Maxwell is accused of murdering her mother, 62-year-old Betty Turner. It happened around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon at JT Tire on Greer Street. Deputies say Maxwell shot Turner. Now, it's the same place where 2 other people were killed during a robbery back in March of 2012. One of those killed was a relative of the same family.
The families of 2 victims of the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre now filing a lawsuit against the school district and the school board. The suit alleges security was not tight enough on the day a gunman killed 20 first graders and 6 adults. The families filed another suit against the gun maker Bushmaster in December. The University of Virginia has reinstated the fraternity suspended in the wake of a now discredited Rolling Stone article on sexual assault. The magazine first published a feature about an alleged rape at the frat, but then backed away from that report. UVA president and the police also say they cannot confirm the assault actually happened there. Rolling Stone says they are still reviewing that report.
And on a happier note, another American university also making the news.
Yep, coming up next, highlights and sound from the first ever college national championship game. Plus,
he had 2 angels on his back, and you know, I mean, it's truly a miracle.
Yeah, an amazing story of survival and a father's iron will to get back to his family.
Such a great story of survival. Not so great of a story, our weather today. We're looking at cloudy skies and even some drizzle in and around the area. I'll let you know when the freezing rain arrives and when it gets out of here, coming up in your complete forecast.
Live from the Triangle, this is WNCN Today.
Well, it certainly was a night to remember. 2 college football teams battling it out for the title.
But in the end, there was just one champion.
And the Ohio State Buckeyes are the first national champions of the playoff era.
Head coach Urban Meyer and third-string quarterback Cardell Jones led Ohio State past Oregon's Heisman winner Marcus Mariota and the Oregon Ducks by a final of 42-20. The confetti rained down on Ohio State's 8th national championship and Meyer's 3rd national title.
And the players were overjoyed.
It's just a moment that I wouldn't rather share with anybody else but this band of brothers that I'm here with. All the hard work and everything we put in this offseason, just to see it all just come mold together through all the adversity we've been through during this season, it's just an amazing feeling. I just wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Yeah, it took just 3 seasons in Columbus for Meyer to put the Buckeyes and the Big Ten back on top.
But it didn't really take long for celebrations to get underway back in Columbus, Ohio.
That's right. Hundreds of students took to the streets celebrating the victory over the Oregon Ducks.
And unfortunately, their celebrations turned violent. At one point, police officers used pepper spray to disperse the crowd. Some groups also set small fires alongside streets. There were no reports of any major injuries.
And in health news this morning, the state's largest insurer is giving access for the first time to what customers say, or rather customers pay for procedures at different hospitals. Blue Cross Blue Shield executives say releasing the payments help keep costs down, and that customers have been asking for this kind of information for a while. But it does create an even bigger question as to why the same surgery can cost thousands of dollars more at hospitals within 10 miles of each other. We looked up 4 of the most common procedures according to the CDC and checked the price at Raleigh hospitals. The difference between the highest and lowest cardiac catheterization is more than $14,000, and it's a $12,000 difference for a hysterectomy. So why the disparities, especially with the same insurance plan? Well, we asked Blue Cross.
Many of the prices are contractually bound for a multi-year period, so it will not happen overnight, but it will start the conversation.
Now, the state of North Carolina is now required to post cost data submitted by hospitals. We have a link to that list and the Blue Cross Blue Shield database. You'll find it at WNCN.com.
ESPN broadcaster and Tar Heel alum Stuart Scott will be saving lives even after his death, thanks to the V Foundation. ESPN donated $100,000 to start the fund at the foundation. It will specifically go toward research projects focusing on cancer and its effects on the minority community. Scott died from cancer earlier this month. You can find out more about how the fund is working and also how you can donate by logging on to our website, WNCN.com.
And Phil, people in Fuquay, Verena, have a new way to get to Raleigh, their own bus route. Monday was the first day of the Fuquay Raleigh Express. The ride was added to alleviate traffic on 440 during the Fortify construction. It runs at least 3 times in the morning with stops in Fuquay, Verena's South Park, and the Hilltop Food Lion, up to Moore Square in downtown Raleigh. There are plans to eventually build a permanent stop and shelter at South Park. Well, happening right now in Detroit, automakers are unveiling the newest and smartest cars at the North American Auto Show. Right now, we're going to take a live look at what's going on right there. And so many different cars are being introduced. It's a lot of fun for all of you car enthusiasts. Dozens of new models are on display as companies kick off what's supposed to be a blockbuster year. And also today, Ford unveiled the latest of its iconic GT supercar. Ford says it set new standards in using carbon fiber and aluminum to make the GT light and fast. And an award for Volkswagen. The VW Golf is the car of the year at the Detroit Auto Show. Good for the VW. I checked it out. It's good looking.
Yeah, very cool. Very nice. Listen to this next story. A former NFL player spent 16 hours swimming to land and to safety. Former Miami Dolphins fullback Rob Conrad fell off his boat off the coast of Florida. The boat was on autopilot and left him in the Atlantic Ocean. He realized his only way home was to swim 9 miles. Conrad says he followed the sun during the day and the cityscape at night.
I could see the lights on the shore and pick out certain landmarks. But yeah, look, I've got two beautiful daughters. I was hitting that shore.
Yeah, he was. Conrad was treated in the hospital for hypothermia. He also sustained a number of stings and bites, likely from jellyfish. But how about that,
Yeah,
ladies?
and you know, there are 2 little girls so happy to have their dad back home.
Such an amazing story.
It's a great story. Okay, here at home, I know we're talking a lot about this freezing rain on the way.
Yeah, it's what everyone's talking about out there today. So let's go ahead and get straight to your forecast. What a gray and dreary day. When I came into work well before the sunrise this morning, temperatures were actually about 10 degrees warmer. Now we're at 38 degrees, and you can see all of those gray skies as we look out live from the Raleigh Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Areas of drizzle from time to time. No real steady rain falling at this point in time, but you can see just the isolated green areas. And again, that's just some light drizzle. 36 in Henderson and South Hill, 38 here in Raleigh. Still holding on to the low 40s as you head south of the triangle. 41 in Dunn and in Smithfield. You can see Clinton just updating to 42 degrees. So let's take a look at your fast forecast. Noon today, cloudy and chilly, 36 degrees. Something we're also noticing, wind gusts upwards of about 25 to approaching 30 miles per hour. We all know that's going to make it feel much colder. 35 degrees at 3 o'clock. And then by 6 o'clock this evening, we're looking at a temperature very close to freezing. So that is when the winter storm watch will go into effect, right around 7 o'clock this evening, and actually continue through noon tomorrow, because all of that time frame will likely be spent below freezing. Up to a quarter of an inch of ice possible in these areas shaded in blue. Notice this includes Raleigh, Durham, down across the Sandhills and areas off to our east. During that same time frame, there's also going to be a winter weather advisory in effect for our counties up through West Virginia, through Virginia, excuse me. Also portions of Person and Orange County, Siler City, Sanford, Pinehurst, you're also included in this winter weather advisory. What the advisory means is you're expecting about 1/10 of an inch of ice, but it doesn't take a lot of ice to make it a very slippery commute, and that will be tomorrow morning. So here's the setup for today. We have this area of low pressure riding up the east coast, forcing us to be dealing with falling temperatures, breezy conditions. That continues to move up the coast tonight and into tomorrow, and that's why we'll be dealing with the threat for freezing rain as we head throughout the overnight hours and the coldest hours. So let's go ahead and talk about that rain and when it arrives. I think for 6 o'clock, you're mostly on the dry side, and then those showers arrive shortly after, unfortunately, just as those temperatures are falling below freezing. Here we are at midnight tonight, and you can see all of the pink all around the triangle. Keep in mind, we could see several hours of some light freezing rain, so that's why we're thinking of glaze of ice on elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, certainly going to be slick. Also talking about power lines and tree limbs. Most of this should be tapering off mid-morning, and I don't think it's until about lunchtime that we get above freezing. Again, all said and done, about a quarter of an inch of ice in some areas here in the triangle. So right now we're dealing with all rain because we're warm from the ground up, but later today, warm in the upper levels of the atmosphere and then cold at the ground. Again, that is why we'll be dealing with that threat for freezing rain. So a high this afternoon right around 35, 34 in Durham, and 38 in Fayetteville. Overnight tonight, we're dropping into the upper 20s to near 30, so area-wide will be below freezing. Here's a look at the next few days. 37 tomorrow once that rain gets out of here in the afternoon. 47 on Thursday, and then Friday and the weekend ahead looking nice. 56 by Sunday afternoon and 53 as we're heading back to work and school next week. Back to you guys.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. A story of perseverance from a dog. We'll tell you about this smart lab mix coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Now in for an unbelievable dog story who goes on wild rides all by himself.
It's a great story. This is Eclipse, a black lab bull mastiff mix who doesn't wait for her human when it's time to go to the park. Eclipse gets on the Seattle Transit bus all by herself.
The dog gets off at the stop at the dog park and gets off the bus. And I just look out the window and I'm like, did that just happen?
Her owner says she takes Eclipse to the park all the time, but if he's taking too long, I don't know, is it a girl? Is it a boy? I'm not sure. It's a female or, okay. She just gets on the bus without him and knows where to get off. A little confusing.
She's ready to go.
But the story's fantastic. Good for Eclipse.
We'll be right back.
There. Sure. Coming up on My Carolina Today, we'll let you know where you need to take your taste buds coming up over the next few weeks with some great food events.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I was like, plus Wicked is showing here at DPAC and the star of the show's here. We're going to talk about that up next.
Okay, so it's cold here at home, but right now we're taking a live look at the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. An amazing look, but see all that fog covering the bridge?
It looks like it's floating.
Basically.
Almost. Yeah, it's pretty. It's a pretty shot. It just looks a little weird.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
When is that picture never beautiful?
To drive through, right?
Right. Good point. Okay, so freezing weather, people need to prepare now.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking at tonight, freezing rain beginning around 7 or 8 and continuing into early tomorrow morning. In some areas, we could be talking ice accumulations approaching 1/4 inch.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you back here at 6.
My Carolina Today, live from the WNCN studios.
Hello and welcome to My Carolina Today. I'm Valanda Calloway.
And I'm Alex Butler. A great show up ahead for you. I'm so excited. You probably saw in the tease I was like talking over Valanda because I saw Wicked. You have to see Wicked. It's an amazing musical and the star of the show is here. It's showing at Deepak.
I got something in my eye.
What?
I'm sorry.
What's there? Is it just like an eyelash?
Hair or something.
Like an eyelash?
I'm sorry.
Did you get it out now?
No.
Okay, wait.
So if I start crying,
everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Nothing's wrong.
Oh, which eye?
All of a sudden,
okay.
yeah,
Real quick, other things coming up on the show: sweet potato soup in the Food Lion kitchen. Plus, we've got delicious food events coming up, and hopefully, Valanda will get this thing out of her eye.
Get it together.
Food is special to you, so I need you to be able to see it.
One thing I did see. Oh, I think I'm okay now.
I think
I blinked
she got it. She got it. Okay.
Ohio State beat Oregon. Ohio State
beat
Oregon.
Yes, and in my house there was a lot of O-H-I-O. My boyfriend, he put me in an Ohio State sweater. You can see there. I'm actually a Florida Gator, so I can't hate. Gotta love the Gators. But Urban Meyer, who used to be our coach, is now the coach of Ohio State. There's him, fabulous him. So good for them, Ohio State. And for my boyfriend, I gotta say O-H-I-O.
What an exciting game. I actually stayed up and watched almost to the end. Once it was clear that Ohio State was going to win, I kind of dozed off, but it was a good game.
A very good game. And if you were home watching it, you probably ordered some pizza or maybe got into some food. And yesterday I was thinking, with all this pizza, I'm like, what do I do with all these leftovers? So I got on the internet and I discovered something. I was like, I've got to tell Valanda about this. Most people put their pizza in the oven.
Yes,
I discovered
that's what I do.
It's better if you do it on the top of the skillet. Medium heat, 4 to 5 minutes with a domed lid for the pizza. With aluminum foil, you stick it on the pan and it actually makes the bottom crispier. I haven't done it yet.
Okay, say that again.
So you put the pizza on the pan, cover it with tin foil. It makes the bottom more crispy and then melts the top. Whereas in the oven, it just gives it all heat, but it doesn't make the bottom crispy. Just saying.
I'll try it.
I haven't done it, but you might want to try it. The second one, put them in a waffle maker. Now this one took me over the edge. I was like, I love pizza, but I don't know. But basically, it's you take the whole pizza, cut it up, put it into kind of triangular squares, and then you actually put it into a waffle maker and close the waffle maker.
Well, I'll try the on top of the oven thing because I love heating up some pizza.
I know. Let me know how it turns out.
I always do it in the oven. It's Tuesday, so it's time of the app of the week. Producer Kim was so excited about this app. She came in this morning. Okay, let me tell you about this app.
She was excited.
She was very excited. It is called, I always get the name messed up.
Oh, what is it? Squares Day? Square Ready.
Square Ready.
Is that right?
Is that
Kim?
right? Square Ready.
Square Ready.
We guess.
It's
called Square Ready. Anyway, what it does is it allows you to post an entire photo on Instagram without cropping.
Which is very cool.
Today, I had a photo of me and 3 other people. Of course, you couldn't see all 4 of us, so I had to cut one out.
Cropping.
But with this app, you can crop or put the whole photo up there without cropping. You can also post 16 by 9
love that.
video.
Love that.
So, yeah. I downloaded this morning. Haven't used it yet, but I'll be getting ready to use it today.
Okay. Yes. How long can you go without looking at your phone?
Not long.
Probably long. Well,
a few hours.
A few hours. I'm addicted. I'll just admit it. The first step is admitting that you have a problem, and I've got one. So if you've got some separation anxiety, University of Missouri researchers have found that some see the phone as an extension of oneself. Do you agree?
I do. And sometimes I will intentionally leave the phone away. So if I'm downstairs, I'll make sure the phone is upstairs and vice versa.
Yeah.
So that I'm not constantly picking it up, looking. I know. And even I hear phantom buzzing sometimes. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Even when it's not vibrating, I think, oh, it's vibrating.
I know. I'm like, or I hear someone else's phone. I'm like, is that my phone? I sleep with mine under the pillow. You know about this.
And
I know.
I told you to stop doing that.
And Erica yells at me about it too. But I do sleep with it under the pillow. You know something about me. Confession.
Alex, that is
if you need to reach me, I'll be answering. It might be an emergency.
From who?
From you, let's say. What if you had an emergency? Okay. What if my boyfriend had an emergency?
He's right there with you.
Right. Good point. Okay, well, it's family that doesn't live near me. Family that doesn't live near me. Like my mom lives in Miami. What if she had an emergency? She's by herself down there. Phone ring. Okay, it's under my pillow. Moving on.
The real estate website Movoto has a fun list of 30 things people from Raleigh have to explain to out-of-towners. I love this list. Number 1 on the list. Cheerwine. Alex Butler has never had Cheerwine.
I'm pretty excited, but I was kind of scared that it's going to explode.
Together.
Hold on. Let's do the slow open. Okay,
Slow
open. You just never know what could happen.
I love some Cheerwine.
All right, here goes. Going in for the kill. They heard our swallow.
What do you think?
I was like, my gulp.
What do you think?
I actually like it. It just tastes like soda. It's like sweet soda.
You don't taste the cherry?
Cherry, hello.
It's
kind of like a cherry. Yeah. It's
okay,
good.
now you've experienced cheer wine. Number
This is
two,
good. I could go for this.
Bojangles is the best fast food ever.
Excuse me, I had a little.
Have you had Bojangles?
Bojangles, yes, I've had Bojangles. I had that the first week I was here. Somebody was like, "You got to go to
Did you like
Bowberries."
it? Did you like it?
I liked it. I like the Bowberry.
Okay. Also on the list, sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Why would you order tea any other way? I'm from North Carolina, so the idea of unsweetened tea shocked me when I moved away. And I think I was in Northern Virginia, and I ordered sweet tea, and they said, we don't have sweet tea. And I said, what?
I sometimes get unsweet.
Huh? What?
Yeah. I sometimes do half sweet, half unsweet.
Oh, okay, I can dig it. Driving in the snow is hopeless. We just don't do that very well. Here is video from about a year ago.
Oh gosh.
We had we had quite a bit of snow.
Oh my gosh.
How many inches do you remember, Kim?
That
How many
looks
inches
fun,
this
though.
was? This was February. I forgot how many inches we had, but we just don't do snow very well.
Oh my gosh.
And this is also the 10th anniversary of the 2005 mess, where we only had this much. And it turned into a disaster. But anyway, it's a fun list. I put it on my Facebook page. So
oh my gosh.
Check it out, Valana Calloway on TV.
I'm excited. Cheer wine and coming up, the musical Wicked, the untold story of the Witches of Oz is now showing at DPAC. Up next, we meet the star of the show. Yay!
Get the floors you have been wanting with the help of 50 Floors. Sean Harris is here to show us the options. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Look at these pretty carpets.
Yeah.
A lot of variety.
I try to bring some different things in every time, as you know, but we have everything. You know, we don't just have carpets, we have hardwoods, laminates, tile, you name it, we've got it.
Absolutely. This scares me to death, the idea of a carpet this light.
It probably scare a lot of people. Believe it or not, this is one of the more popular colors. You know, people love a light carpet, makes the room feel really big. But the fear of, oh, what if I get it dirty? My kids, my dogs, my cats. The reason why I brought this one in particularly is because these new polyester PET carpets are so easy to clean. You actually can go to a carpet like this and feel assured that you're not going to have to worry about it being ruined right away.
Really?
Believe it or not, these carpets are made with recycled plastics. A lot of them you can even clean with bleach and water.
Wow.
So lifetime stain warranties on carpets like these. You know, in the old days, the old polyester carpets, not very easy to clean, very abrasive. You used to have to buy the high dollar nylon carpets to get a nice soft feel. You can feel, obviously the audience at home can't feel this, but you can attest to how soft it is. These carpets feel like the high-end nylons and silk carpets.
Let me tell you, it feels really nice.
Yeah, it is, and it's a great price point.
Okay, I love the way that you all do business. You bring the samples to our homes.
That's exactly right. A representative is going to come out to your house. You just call 877-50-FLOOR, go to 50floor.com. They're going to bring all this stuff and many more. You get to look at it in your lighting, your decor, pick out exactly what works for you, and they're going to figure out a solution for you.
And most of the jobs are done in a day.
That's exactly right. We do a full service installation. So we're going to come out on the day of install. We're going to move all your furniture for you. We do all that heavy lifting. Pick up and take out all that old flooring, clean and prep the subfloor, put all the new flooring down, put all your furniture back and go. And like you said, 99% of our jobs are done that same day.
You make it really easy to pay for it.
We try to. We give you a lot of options. We have a 6-month layaway plan, just 6 months same as cash. We've got 12 months no interest financing. We take all your major credit cards, checks, and of course you can always hand some cash.
Okay, tell us about this month's special.
This month's special is free installation. So the more you buy, the more you're going to save. You get one room of hardwood, you might save hundreds of dollars. You do the whole house, you may save thousands.
That is a great deal. Sean, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Free installation, you can't beat that. So make sure you call 877-50-FLOOR and use the promo code MyCarolina today. Within the hour, you can get $100 off your order. We'll be right back with a suit perfect for this chilly weather. You can find us on several social media platforms. Just search hashtag MyCT.
You're watching an amazing clip from the hit musical Wicked, the untold story of the witches of Oz. Fantastic.
The show is casting its spell on the Triangle, and Laurel Harris, who plays Elphaba, otherwise known as the Wicked Witch, is here to tell us all about it. It is such a pleasure and an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Amazing.
Hometown girl, born in Durham, raised in Raleigh. What does it feel like to be performing this role at home?
It's incredible. It's a dream come true. I mean, I've been working to play this role for so many years, and now that I'm actually playing her 8 times a week, to get to bring her home to Raleigh and show Elphaba to all my friends and family, it's just, There are no words. I'm so happy to be here. It really is. It's amazing.
That's how I felt after I saw your performance. I had no words. I was like speechless. Tell us about the story for people who don't know.
Sure. So Wicked is basically the story of the Wizard of Oz, but told from a completely different perspective. So you're getting the story told from my perspective, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda the Good. So it's basically a different take on how we know the Wizard of Oz, that story.
Okay, you are green.
Yes, all green.
All green. Tell us about that process.
Sure. So it takes about 30 minutes. I get painted every day. I have a makeup artist who does it for me, Joyce McGilberry. She's amazing. And my whole face gets painted, and my chest, and my hands, and my arms. I keep my nails green at all times.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And usually I have like a green halo going on here.
I kind of see it, like a teeny bit
I
of
tried
green.
to scrub it out last night, but usually it's really bad, right?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so I'm completely transformed. I look very different on stage than how I look now.
Yeah. Is rehearsal very intense? How long is rehearsal for?
Well, you rehearse before you get put into the show, so you have a few weeks of rehearsal, and then we'll have like touch-up rehearsals throughout the run. So the creatives from New York will come down and rehearse us and give us notes to make sure the show is still fresh and really, that we're still telling the story properly and reaching our audiences. So it's not too, once you're put into the show, you're not rehearsing too much.
Do you have a favorite song?
Well, you have to love Define Gravity.
I know, I was going to say that. I was about to be like, Define.
I mean, you were singing it earlier.
I was like singing it in the commercial. I love it.
You can be my understudy.
Well, it's so nice to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be
Wicked,
home.
the untold story of the Witches of Oz at DPAC through January 25th.
Go see it. It's amazing. Okay, now we have to head to the Food Lion Kitchen to make a dish involving sweet potatoes. Welcome to the Food Lion Kitchen. Today I am joined by Chef Rusty Nicholas, and with the new year coming, everybody wants to get fit, get healthy, so we've got a great recipe just for that with sweet potato soup, right?
Yes, correct. We are going to top it with a honey curry cream.
Honey curry cream.
We're going to start with 2 cups of mashed sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Now, that will require you cooking the sweet potatoes first, obviously, and in this case, I had Chef Ryan. He decided to roast them. Very simple. Cut them in half.
Smells good.
Cut the sweet potatoes in half, lay them on a sheet pan, roast them in the oven at about 350 just until they get nice and soft.
Okay.
And then just scrape the meat out. And we have, voila, mashed sweet potatoes.
Ooh, and it smells so good.
Now, to this, we're going to add 2 cups of vegetable stock. So we added our vegetable stock. And to that, we're going to add a little sweetness, some apple cider, and a little sharpness, a little apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
And that goes in. And then we have our spice mix. This is cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice.
Allspice.
A little salt and pepper.
And what is that? Does that just add the bulk of the flavor?
Yep, that's our seasonings. All right, so we'll add that in. And let's just stir this up a little bit. Now we want to bring this up to a boil and reduce to a simmer. That's a chef thing. Bring to a boil, reduce to a simmer. That's right. So this will take a couple of minutes.
And you want to just make sure it's on high heat, or do you want to keep it on low heat?
Either way, if you can stand right there and watch it like we're doing, we can put it on high. Otherwise, you can put it on low and multitask.
Okay.
It's still, to me, it's a little too thick, so we can add a little more vegetable stock. Alex, if you could stir, we're going to thin it out a little more.
Okay.
Add a couple more cups of vegetable stock. There we go.
Oh, I can really smell it too. It smells really good.
That looks a little better consistency, right? Looks
Okay,
more
so you
like
want
a
it
soup.
to be more thin.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want it to be like a soup. So again, we're going to bring it up to a boil and then just reduce to a simmer. Now, we're going to make a little curried, honey curried cream, all right? So if you'll grab that mixing bowl there.
All right.
All right.
Ready to go.
All right, grab your sour cream right there.
Sour cream.
And you're going to want to put about a cup in.
A cup? Okay.
Yeah, just eyeball it.
Eyeball it. About a cup. Oh, and I'll just eyeball it.
You
right?
eyeball it. That's how we chefs do it.
Okay.
You put in enough,
Does
you
that look
cook
like
it
a
till
cup?
it's done. A little more.
A little more? That's probably like a half a cup. Is that too much?
Dump it in.
Okay.
You're good.
Is that a cup?
Feel the force.
Feel the force. A little more? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Cool.
Now, grab this is the
curry
powder. I want 1/8 of a teaspoon. Chef, what's 1/8 of a teaspoon?
Yeah, good question.
Open it up.
Okay.
All right, put it over there. Exact measurements. Watch. Shake, 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 shake. Boom.
That's an 8?
8. Perfect. Exact measurement.
Where are you when I'm cooking every day at home?
Now, grab the honey.
Okay.
And we're going to put in about 1/4 of a cup.
1/4 of a cup.
Yeah. Dump the honey bear upside down. Squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze.
Squeeze, squeeze.
3 squeezes.
1 more squeeze. Good?
Perfect.
All right. I love honey. Okay.
All right, now
mix
just mix. Mixy mix. And our soup is coming right along. All right. It's nice and hot. It's been simmering.
And we're just going to pour it in. Oh my gosh.
You should not fill it any more than about like that. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect amount.
And then
now we're going to take our
topping. Very cool.
There we go.
Okay, now I need to taste it. All right, very good. I'm ready. Now, how do I do this? Do I get the topping in there with it?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely. You want to get a little of each.
A little of each.
Yes,
all right,
there
I'm ready.
you go.
Wow, that is so good.
Good.
That's so good, and it's so warm and like refreshing, and it actually does feel light, so it's really good stuff. If you want to check out this great recipe, of course, you can go to mycarolinatoday.com. Thanks, Chef.